I'm liking what we have so far in our trophy lodge for the new season of the Let's Go Trophy Hunting series. The addition of the 2 Nights of Elk, the Moose, and of course the non-typical in the last episode, I really think starts to make this lodge come together. But we're continuing our tour of the whitetail maps. Today we're actually on Whitehart Island, and I did also confirm there are no more bow slots for where you can hang the weapons in the lodge, but there is one more crossbow spot. So we have the 10-point crossbow kind of as our main weapon today, and then of course just a couple of other weapons for maybe more range that we might need. And what I would call a pretty much expected to start, a rather small whitetail buck, but we can take him hopefully rather easily with the crossbow and start to move on. Now he's of course trying to come into a call. I kind of had to keep on moving. There were a number of does around here, and it's kind of the norm, I would say, for this area. We are near the tower right at the South Lodge, and unfortunately that shot was a little bit far back trying to slot it in there, so we'll have to track him for a bit. But in all the trying to get around the other does, unfortunately we didn't even make the shot when we had the chance. So maybe not the smoothest start, but at least tracking the buck wasn't too bad. And of course we know he's not going to be all that big. Body at 20 meters is probably not something that should happen all that often, but 62 score, and we can move on hopefully to bigger and better things. Well, this was not the plan. I called down the hill. I've got a bit of a weird setup here where I actually can't use the e-collar. At some point on a stream, I'm gonna say 2 weeks back, I left this one down here at the very end of a stream, and you can't place 2 e-collars less than 400 meters apart. So in an attempt to get these guys in here, I'm using the Predator call, and for whatever reason that male came right under the stand, but it seems to have worked out for the best. We can try to get this female too. Maybe it doesn't work the same with bobcats. Like, I definitely called somewhere back behind where the female is now, and she's kind of coming up to the base of the tree as well. I've not really ever messed with the Predator caller from a stand. I've done it from the ground plenty of times, and normally in that case it would make sense for them to come right to me because I don't tend to move. I haven't shot a lot of bobcats with a crossbow where I've got 2 laying at the base of the tree. Neither are going to be that big. 8.8 isn't too bad, and for the female probably going to be in the 6 range whenever we can actually claim it. 10 kg spine shot to drop that in, 6.6 for that one, so not quite worth going in the trophy lodge. There's another one out there. I've had decent success in this area for bobcat, but not usually that many. We'll see if this one is anything kind of different. Another female. It probably isn't actually coming into the call. We might just kind of scoot our way around that. We are not moving in the right direction in terms of whitetail buck size thus far. This guy is undoubtedly going to score even lower than our first one, but if we can at least shoot it better, we might have a chance at another one that grunted pretty much in the direction that we're facing right now. So hopefully he's still coming in. I have not really heard any other sign since this guy grunted. He's been taking up all of the grunts that we've heard since, and who knows, maybe he'll finally break this streak of smaller animals. I don't quite know what's happened to the other buck. There's a chance that he maybe saw us scooting over here and ended up fleeing. There's also a chance, I'd say it's probably late enough in the day, that he could have just gone to sleep. So there actually are some bull elk coming in as well. By the way, just made a little slight elevated stand out of our other buck, and at the very least we ought to be able to get a bull elk out of this. Predictably not all that big, but at least something maybe better than the buck that we shot. There were the 2 coming in, which is odd. I would expect to see 3 or 5, so maybe there's another one in the background somewhere, but that guy was so close we had to take him out, so we'll at least kind of clean up here. And I was considering using the 9.3, that is the rifle that we brought today, just to kind of get some use out of it, because I was planning on fast traveling, but I'm not sure what to make of that other buck not coming in. We can maybe walk around, look for tracks, see if he's just kind of resting somewhere out ahead of us. And if we don't see anything, or if he doesn't seem to be that big, we'll probably head north a bit. That might actually be him. The way it would kind of match, I think I got one of his tracks back there. And like I said, I want to fast travel, so let's just go ahead and take him with the 9.3. At least that kind of gets a use out of it for this hunt. Probably the first time I've fired that gun in a long time. I haven't heard that sound in a while. But he's down, we can go and get him, and no harm in potentially spooking other things. Actually, it might not have been the buck. We can probably see, yeah, new trail. The weight and everything is about the same as the track that we had, and that track didn't give me a lot of optimism, so we'll just kind of continue forward now, and I'm thinking I was going to fast travel here. It's not that far away. Let's go to the campsite and see what that does for us. And from one unused weapon to the next, we have the engraved 357 here. I don't think that's going to be a 9+ Bobcat, but it had the score estimate that could reach it, and he kind of got in there undetected, a little closer than I would have liked. So we can grab this with us. I quite honestly would not have guessed that we'd shoot 3 Bobcats total today. And here we are with a total of, it's going to be 8 harvests, and 3 of them are Bobcats. Yeah, 15 kg, it's going to be 8 something again, 8.5 in fact. Nice on the CSS and the GM we'll get from it, but not quite worth, I would say, spooking everything off with the revolver. I'm actually fairly happy with our large round platform animals right now. We have a 65 scoring turkey and a 28 scoring pheasant, but every turkey that gobbles could of course be an improvement on that 65 or even potentially a rare. So when the opportunity arises, I figured we'll try to take them out and once again a chance to use the engraved 357. So we'll go and grab that, and I think it's fairly well known at this point. At least part of the goal with this series, because we're always going to be on whitetail maps, is to hopefully stumble into that elusive 200, with the thought process essentially being, so often in the Hunter Classic, you find trophy animals when you're not looking for them, and by having incentive to go after elk and turkey and all that stuff, maybe we could stumble into that whitetail, but when we are so far north as we are now, our odds of getting a whitetail really aren't that good, so I think we're going to try to work our way back south for the remaining portion of this hunt. And maybe we can find one more buck if we're lucky. It just might have been the case that running out of time today was a good thing. A 60 to 75 scoring turkey, that is the max estimate. Now there's a gobbler right in here close. He's kind of starting to walk away, but we've got the 357. We can drop that gobbler out there. And to kind of elaborate a little bit, due to the fact that I normally record these Let's Go Trophy Hunting videos on the Monday before I'm streaming, sometimes it kind of gets up too close to when the stream has to start, and I had to start a new hunt. As you can see, we've only traveled 3,000 meters in this one, and I've more or less been looking for a trophy to wrap up with. So, if this guy tops 65, he'll be our best thus far. He is a 68.1. I wonder, because he's 0.9 kg away. While we're taking the trophy shot here, I'm going to go back into the score page and just kind of see if it's just in kilograms, or I guess it would be pounds. Man, he's not far off from being a 70 had he been max weight. Obviously he's not, but still a really nice bird. Now we're unfortunately in the shadows, but one of my favorite trophy shot poses, I don't know that I've ever used this one for the turkey with the fan out, like since they've added the animal poses, but I kind of like it. You could sort of imagine holding the fan there, but that is officially going to be a Lodge edition. We had a 65 turkey in there in the past, and I referenced it when we were on Settlers Creeks. The, I think, original season of Let's Go Trophy Hunting got us a 68 turkey, in fact a pair of them, from Settlers, so fitting to find one out here on Whitehart as well. But the weight for the turkeys does count as 1 times. There's different things. I think the spur length is multiplied by 10, the beard length is doubled, but the weight is simply in pounds. So had he been exactly 10 kg, he would have been right on the edge of being a 70 score, but still at 68, one of our best. It may not have been a hunt like the others so far. Only 1 Lodge edition as opposed to the multiple from our other hunts, but at 68.1, with turkeys maxing around 71, this is probably our best kill relative to the sort of max score, and that is sort of the goal here as we've started to put a Lodge together. As we continue to hunt, some of the same species, we can make those improvements and turn this into a really good lodge. But I like that. A 68 scoring turkey, we've got the guns up on the wall as well, the 9.3, the 357, and the crossbow over here. And what that's done now with our 4th iteration of this new season of Let's Go Trophy Hunting is basically set the bows and crossbows. I don't want to use anything that we're not going to hang in the lodge. So these 4, the crossbow over here, the Red Dragon, Recurve, and Camo Pulsar, are going to be our bows throughout. So it'll be interesting to see what that does for us. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.